If you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him someone to look down on, and he'll empty his pockets for you. Lyndon B. Johnson. Donald Trump ran on demonizing non-white people to the lowest common denominator, the lowest uneducated white trash part of this country that are racist pieces of trash that are misogynistic pigs. That's what he ran on. A man that's a billionaire that takes a crap in a gold toilet, that owns mansions and golf courses and hotels, who will have more wealth than most of his base combined will ever have. He convinced them that the brown people are the problem, the undocumented immigrants, and they're arresting people that have never been found guilty of crimes. But at the same time, you voted for a rapist and a convicted felon who caused an insurrection because he gave them somebody to look down on, someone to blame for their shitty life. Who am I going to blame that I have 6 teeth? Who am I going to blame that I don't have health care? They won't blame themselves because of their pride. They keep voting for Republicans because they need to be the white victim of something. Transgenders, gays, oh, the men are going in the women's bathroom. Donald Trump went into a woman's dressing room and raped her, and you didn't seem to care about that, but you seem to be worried about some mysterious man that goes into a girl's locker room. It's funny how you care more about 10 transgenders in college sports than 1,600 people that beat police officers and were pardoned. It's funny how that works, huh? Because he gave you somebody to look down on. And then he's literally stealing your pocket. He's enriched himself with over $2.1 billion over the last year. He's literally robbing you of your tax dollars, and you don't care because you're still looking down on immigrants and you're celebrating ICE murdering people in our streets and people in concentration camps. They're eating the dogs and cats. Be afraid. Ooh, they're raping your women and children. Be afraid. Ooh, look at the shithole countries. Oh, look, they're poisoning the blood of America. Oh, look, World War III. You're losing your country. They're not speaking English. Ooh, Obama's not black. He wasn't born here. Oh, be afraid, white people. Be afraid. The whole world's crumbling down unless you put me in power. That's how fascists work. And the last election really exemplified that, because 77 million of you pieces of shit ignored rape, felonies, molesting children, defending child molesters, having dinner with white supremacists, not writing to black people, asking for the murder of 5 black men in New York City, an insurrection, 5 officers that died on after January 6th, 4 committed suicide, looking at 15-year-olds naked, his ex-wife accusing him of rape, 24 women accusing him of sexual assault, being sued by 13-year-old Katie Johnson, questioning the birth of Barack Obama, making fun of disabled people, insulting John McCain, calling our troops suckers and losers, stealing from cancer charity. Yeah, that guy. That's the guy that you voted for because you couldn't stomach voting for the most qualified presidential candidate in the history of our country because she was a black woman. You gave her someone to look down on. And then he's even stealing from you directly. You're so stupid. You're buying his NFT cards and his Trump Bibles and his Trump watches and his Trump phones that were delayed for over a year and his Trump perfume and his Trump retirement plans and his Trump RX. Like, he could literally spit in your face and tell you it's raining because he's giving you someone to look down on, and then he would sell you a $50 Trump umbrella. That's where we are as a country. He has given white people somebody to be the victim of. But that's what Republicans do in the right wing of this country. It is constant fear-mongering. It's pure open hypocrisy, but they don't care. Example, Scott Jennings, right? He is a white supremacist Christian nationalist. He is a disgusting human being. That's why I don't watch CNN anymore. But he's up here talking about Graham Plattner, and Graham Plattner is a piece of shit. Okay? I don't care. I'm not defending him. But he has the audacity to come up here and say, oh, the Democrats, you voted for a man who was found liable in a court of law for rape, who is defending child molesters right now. But that hypocrisy, it doesn't matter to his lowest white denominator, his white trash, make America white again base. They don't care because Trump has given them somebody to look down on. The lowest white man doesn't care. It's why we're here. This is the only reason that we're here, people. This is not a Christian nation. But he convinced them that it is. Slavery, Jim Crow, putting black people in trees, 1.8 million people dying on the Middle Passage, murdering Native Americans by the millions, the Trail of Tears, Wounded Knee, Black Wall Street, Asian internment camps, the 3/5 clause. That's their version of a Christian nation. That is the lowest white man. That's who they are. Criticizing this country does not mean that I don't love America. It means that I expect more from it, that I want it to be better. I'm calling out its actual history because LBJ was right. We are run by the lowest white man right now. White trash America, who are terrified of black people, women, minorities, Somalians, Islams, Muslims, Hispanics, Latinos. Most people on the left realize that the rich people are screwing us. But what the Republicans have done is realize that their base is stupid, which is why those states are last in education, highest in crime, lowest in happiness, lowest in pay, highest in poverty, and they take money from the blue states because they live their whole shitty lives playing the victim and owning the libs and blaming everybody for their crappy life because they don't actually want a better country. They want a white country. And when you add on Schadenfreude, which means that people love the suffering of others, which is what MAGA stands for, that is their motto. I want to own the libs. I want to demonize gay people. I want to demonize trans people. I want to demonize Somalians. And they tear people down because they're incapable of being happy. And this is through generations of white trash inbreeding, primarily red states. And I say that as my dad from Terre Haute, Indiana, and I got family from Carbondale, Illinois. They are. They work hard and they bust their ass, but they're dumb as fucking rocks. And they're racist and they're ignorant. Because they only want and they only surround themselves with uneducated, stupid white people. And they're all afraid that their version of America, which is white, English-speaking men, are going away. And that's exactly why this guy is president. Because they couldn't stomach a black man sitting in the White House instead of picking their cotton. And that's exactly why Donald Trump constantly goes after the black man and posts memes of him as a fucking monkey. Because he cannot handle the fact that they have a good marriage, that he's successful, that people like him more than him. He cannot wrap his brain around the fact that Barack Obama, who he wouldn't even rent to in New York City because he's a white supremacist piece of shit, is successful and happy, and his wife stayed in the White House with him. His own wife, Donald Trump, won't even stay in the same house. She disgusts him so much. He's such a disgusting pig, probably from the smell of him crapping his diapers, or farting all the time, or his bowel movements, or putting on his orange makeup, or falling asleep. Just like she wasn't in there when he was in the hearing for raping E.G. Carroll. She didn't even have the balls to go there. Donald Trump, he very good. Oh, yes, you, I don't speak English. Fucking Melania, ship her ass back to Russia. Just do it. She's an immigrant. She wasn't born here. Deport her. Oh, that's different because she's white. I got it. So it was never really about that, was it? It's about time this country comes to grips with why he was elected. And it wasn't the economy. It wasn't inflation. It wasn't employment numbers. It wasn't any of that. Most of these white trash people can't even count to 10 because that's how many teeth they don't even have. It was about the lowest white man. We have a lot of stupid, racist, bigoted, misogynistic people in this country that don't want a better America, and that's what he tapped into. Have a good day.